everyone, Morgiroy here today, and today we're going to be talking about a new game that just came out yesterday in early access that I was really excited for, so I just want to talk about my first thoughts about it, and that's Paralives. Paralives is a life simulation game in the idea of The Sims, more The Sims 3 than The Sims 4, but it has that life simulation feeling of a Sims game or Inzoi, where you basically have a dollhouse of different little characters that you can have live their lives. You can build houses for them. You can make them go to work or have families, just like The Sims. I used to spend many hours on The Sims, and unfortunately, as much as I have loved The Sims and spent many years playing The Sims, lately The Sims has kind of become a bit more of a game with a lot of baggage to it. I'm not going to get into that because that's not what this video is about. All the information is readily available there if you need to look into exactly what's going on with The Sims and EA as a game company. And Paralives has been a game that's been in development since 2019, and everybody's been really excited for it, including me. I remember hearing about it a while ago, and then this year when I heard that it was coming out this year, I remember getting very excited, putting it on my wish list and just waiting, because it is a small indie company. There's 15 members of this company. They're from Montreal, Canada. So, you know, as a fellow Canadian, I really want to support them. Just trying to have leveled expectations, trying not to expect too much of them, trying to give them feedback. The game is in early access, so there are some bugs, there are some things that aren't working. So with all that in mind, I picked up the game yesterday. It's on a little bit of a discount right now, and it is doing the Stardew Valley plan where you pay for it once and then you don't have to keep paying for expansions later, which is one of the many reasons why people didn't really like playing The Sims anymore. I picked it up yesterday, I played it during stream, and I just want to talk about some of my experiences with it. So the first thing we did in the game was we loaded it up. And because I run on a not super old laptop, when I bought it, it was a fairly high quality laptop, but it was several years ago when I bought it. And thus, the game did not like running with my VTuber model going at the same time. So for future streams, I will be using my PNG tuber model because it's a little bit less memory intensive, RAM intensive as my normal VTuber model. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to stream this game as a VTuber and you don't have the most powerful PC. And I went through the character creator, and the character creator is probably one of the most robust character creators I have seen. The Sims 4 is comparable with the level of changing that you can make in your character, but The Sims 4 did not come out with that robust of a character creator. That was a character creator that they had many expansions to improve upon to make it as robust as what I think Paralives is coming out. And when I say robust, I don't mean necessarily like hair options, clothes options. Those are limited because the game is in early access and they're going to be adding much more as they go on. But for what I mean is how to actually make your character look the way that you want. It's based on a grid system. So you pick out a preset and then you can move your mouse around the square and make the presets bigger or smaller on an XY axis. It's hard to describe, but that's what it's like. It's like on a little grid, and you can move your cursor around to change it to different sizes. And there are so many parts of the body you can change. Like you can change how deep or how shallow your forehead is, and your brows are separate from that, and your nose is separate from that, your cheeks are separate from that, your chin is separate from that, your jawline is separate from that. So it is similar to The Sims 4 in the level of customizability for how you want your para to look. It is limited in the amount of clothing options, hair options, tattoo options, but you have piercing options. You do have all of that customizability available now. It's just limited on options available, which they are going to add later. I tried to make my VTuber model. They don't have headbands yet, so I wasn't able to do my bear headband or any headband really of any kind. I did have to choose a hairstyle that was similar to mine. I was trying to find one with a side part, but I ended up going with one with a middle part. So that works too. I actually did find earrings that are space related, if not actually space earrings, which is very funny. For the necklaces, I couldn't find an off-the-shoulder hoodie. Fine, that's a very specific outfit that I have. So because of that, I couldn't get a space necklace. They did have a space necklace. I just could not put it on with the hoodie that I picked out. And the really cool thing with Paralives is you can customize the colors to whatever colors you want through a color wheel. And that's one thing The Sims still doesn't have for a lot of options. But because I'm a VTuber, I was able to go into my reference sheet and actually pick the individual colors and put them into my para to make the colors correct to what my thing is. Now, obviously it looks a little bit different because there aren't as many clothing options as there, but the very fact that I can do that and I can change it later and adjust it more than I like is very cool. And I was able to get my para looking quite similar to my VTuber model, at least looks-wise and body shape-wise. Literally, like, the first option I picked was almost the perfect body type, and I'm like, heck yeah, great, love it. Some other things. So once we got through the character creation, I didn't run into many issues with the character creator. The only thing I noticed was that when you're choosing voices, you only have 4 options, 2 masculine sounded voices and 2 feminine sounding voices. So I kind of do wish there was a way to adjust those individual voices, like with pitch and stuff like that, kind of similar to how The Sims does it. But again, early access, that might be something that they're adding later. But the fact that there is only 4 voice options is a little bit of a downer. But that's okay. This is early access. After that, after the character creation, which was a good part of the stream because I was having fun messing with it, I was able to move into the town mode and choose where I wanted my para to live. Yeah, there was lots of options. My para could afford almost all of the options. There's some empty lot options and some pre-built options. I ended up picking a nice stone house, and then I did some basic renovations to it, and then I moved my para in. The inside was a little bit, basic. It kind of reminded me of a grandmother's house, so I definitely want to adjust it a little bit there. I did get a chance to play with the build mode a little bit more off stream, so I was able to mess with it a little bit, and I was able to try and recreate the room that is behind me right now within reason, because this room is very special and specially designed and is on a spaceship, so I'm not going to be able to get it perfectly, but I think I did a pretty good job with the options available, and the customization options are perfect. There are so many customization options. The only thing I was having trouble with was the camera. Most of the things, the sensitivity on the camera for me was very high. I had to turn it down to almost nothing so that I wasn't whipping across the map whenever I moved around. I also found that it was bobbing up and down a little bit for the terrain changes, which was a little strange. And again, early access, these might be things that they can adjust later. But it did become a little bit of an issue with build mode, especially on the second floor. But the options available and the customization available for build mode was fantastic. Highly recommend. Especially once they start adding some more options, once they start adding more decorations for build mode and more furniture options and things, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be The Sims 3 all over again for the amount of customization you can do, and I'm so excited. I didn't really get to play much of the live mode, like where you're actually moving your pair around and doing some stuff. We ended up doing a little bit of I met a couple of other paras in the town. My para was able to do some studying of graphic design and science and art. Because I had spent so much time in the character creator and a little bit of time in the build mode, I ended up not having a whole bunch of time in the live mode, but she did end up getting a job. Oh, she ended up getting a job as a guard at the art museum. So that's kind of neat. I couldn't really find one that was streaming adjacent. Maybe something to add later. And yeah, that was my first stream of Paralives. Like I said, I did a little bit more building after the stream session just to kind of mess around with that because I knew that would take a lot of time and a lot of getting used to it. And I didn't really want to do that on stream because it's probably not the most interesting to watch, but I did have a fun time making it. Also, there are cheats in the game. If you want to get some more money, I did have to use a couple just to be able to finish off my room a little bit. But there are options in the game for cheats, and you don't have to type them all out. There's actually, once you start typing out something, there's a drop-down menu, so you can just pick whatever cheat you want, and it works instantly. So that's cool. So far, for an early access game that I don't have to pay for expansions for, made by a Canadian company of only 15 people, this game was really fun to play. especially the character creator and especially the build mode. Like I said, I didn't do much of the live mode. I have heard some people complaining about it here and there, saying there's not much to it. But I think that's the one that they want to work the most in live. They want to work the most with early access feedback because they really want to make it the way people want to make it. So they want to see what people say about the live mode first before they start adding new things to it. But I am super excited. I'm so excited to be able to play a life sim again since I've kind of fallen off The Sims, which was a big comfort game for me back in the day. And yeah, it's just fun to support an indie company that has been working with the community so closely for so long. And I really want to support them in everything they do. And if you're interested in playing this game, it's on Steam right now in early access. Keep that in mind. It's got a little bit of a discount right now, and the price will go up after a bit from early access. I don't think it's going to go up very much, but it will go up a little bit if you want to wait for full access to the game with a lot of these bugs ironed out. That's always an option as well. Just keep in mind the price might be a little bit higher. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the idea of Paralives and you want to check it out, please do. Please support the company. They've gotten a lot of support so far, but it never hurts to keep getting more input on how to improve the game, because I know that's very important to them right now. And they're a very transparent company that is open to constructive criticism. No hate, just constructive criticism. So yeah, if you're interested in the game, it's available on Steam, and check it out if you'd like. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.